dream with me tonight. Hello. It's so nice to be able to talk with you again. Talking is pretty important, isn't it?
I agree, especially because of what happened to me once. Hey, Teddy, why don't you tell everyone about that?
All right, Grubby. That's a good idea.
Thanks. You know, even though something kind of bad happened to me, it ended up okay. Remember?
I sure do, Grubby. It was a beautiful day, and Newton Gimmick had invited Grubby and me to join him on a nature hike in the forest. Gimmick told us the names of all the different plants we passed along the way.
Yes, this delicate foliage is Stepticoni pigmentoliosis. Its crimson leaves produce a most effective red dye.
It looks just like the red in your tablecloth.
Very observant, Teddy. I use the leaves of this plant to color the tablecloth.
Gee, that's fascinating, Gimmick.
Yes, it is.
Oh, and here's some aromatic Tastioni zestofini.
Zesta, hoochie, tootsie, fruitsy?
Tastioni zestofini. It's an herb, a spice. I add it to all my soup broths.
Oh boy, I love your soups, Gimmick. And just saying, toasty mosty zippy doodah makes my mouth water.
Well, it's lucky that we came this way, because we're low on tasty, soup weed. Would you fellas help me pick some?
Of course, Gimmick.
I'll tell you one thing, talking about plants is sure a lot harder than eating them.
While we were picking the soup weed, I noticed a most unusual looking plant right next to it. What is this plant?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me about it, because this is a strange plant with a pretty strange name, the shush bush.
The shush bush?
Shush bush? Well, it sure does taste good.
Oh, no, Grubby, don't eat that.
Huh?
Gimmick, what's wrong?
Oh, I didn't have the chance to explain. The shush bush is called the shush bush because it has been known to cause a temporary paralysis of the larynx mechanism.
What does that mean?
It means Grubby could lose his voice.
Oh, that's silly. These cute little shush berries are too good tasting to be bad for you. In fact, I feel better than I did.
What did you say, Grubby?
You see, it's working. Or it's not working. I mean, the plant's working and Grubby's voice is not.
Are you sure? Grubby, say something. You're right, Gimmick. Grubby's lost his voice. Look, Gimmick, Grubby's trying to tell us something. Grubby was moving his arms about, first one way, then the other. We tried hard to figure out what he was trying to say, but we couldn't understand.
You want to play an accordion?
You're thirsty, and you want a bucket of water?
No, I got it. You want to play grunge ball.
I don't think that's what he means, Gimmick. I know. Gimmick, do you have a pencil with you?
Of course.
And some paper?
I always do.
Okay, that's great. Grubby, you can write down what you're trying to tell us. Here, Grubby. H O W L O N G. How long?
Oh, how long? How long is the accordion?
I don't think so, Gimmick. I think Grubby wants to know how long this will last.
Oh, it's been known to last anywhere from 1 hour to 10 years.
Grubby started running around in circles and waving his arms about every which way. Then he calmed down. Grubby didn't have to write down what he was trying to say this time. We could see that he was pretty upset. I know it'll be hard to write all the time, Grubby, but it seems the best way to understand you. Oh, look! There's Leota.
Hi, fellas. How are you today?
Oh, Leota, Grubby ate some of that shush bush over there.
Oh, my.
And now he can't talk.
Oh, poor Grubby. I hope you learned that you shouldn't eat things if you don't know what they are.
Grubby nodded his head up and down to say yes.
Now you're trying to figure out a way to talk with your friends, right?
Yes, Leota. We figured out that Grubby could write down what he wants to say to us. Right, Grubby? See, Leota?
Yes, and writing things down is a very good idea. But I have an even better way for Grubby to talk with you.
How?
With his hands.
With his hands?
Sure. It's called sign language. It's the language that deaf people use to talk. You see, deaf people have problems hearing, and sometimes when they speak, they don't sound the way we do. So deaf people use their hands to talk.
Oh, you mean when I point my finger at something I want, or wave hello to Grubby, I'm using sign language?
Well, not exactly, Teddy. You're talking about gestures, and using gestures is one very good way to talk without using your voice. But sign language is different. It's a real language. Anything you want to say out loud, you can say. Sometimes even more beautifully with your hands.
That sounds great, Leota. How does it work?
Like this. Place one of your hands on top of the other hand, palms touching.
Okay, got it. Grubby does too.
Now slide the top hand all the way across.
Like this?
Yes, that's right. You just made the sign for nice.
I did?
Nice. Hey, this is fun.
Now point both index fingers straight up in the air and let your hands bump. You just signed meet.
Neat. This is great.
Uh-huh. Now, to say you, just point to another person.
Oh, this one's easy.
You.
Now put them all together and we can say and sign, it's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
Very good. You got it. Now follow me. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
Come on and play.
Come on and play.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
I'm feeling fine.
I'm feeling fine.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
I'm glad you are a friend of mine.
I'm glad you are a friend of mine.
It's easy to say it's a beautiful day. Curve your fingers around right in front of your nose. Then pointing your finger up at the sun. Down it goes. It's nice to meet you.
learn to do all that, Leota?
One of the students in my class taught me. Her name is Katie. Katie is deaf. You know, before I learned sign language, I couldn't talk with Katie very well.
Well, I wouldn't like to think that there was someone in the world I couldn't talk to.
Oh, I understand how you feel, Teddy. That's why all the students in my class learned to sign. Not only can we say things in beautiful new ways, but most importantly, we can talk with Katie.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone learned sign language?
Oh, it sure would, Teddy.
Gee, Leota, I'd like to meet Katie. And I think Grubby would, too.
Yes, so would I.
But how do we tell her our names?
You spell them. You can make every letter of the alphabet with just one hand, like this. It's called finger spelling.
Leota spelled each of our names with her hands. Then she gave each of us a very special sign that only meant our names. She called it our name sign.
I think we'll make Gimmick's name sign the letter G on his head because he's really smart.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And Grubby's name sign will be a G on his tummy because he loves to eat. And Teddy's name sign will be a T right by his heart because he's a true friend.
Thank you, Leota. Now we can introduce ourselves to Katie.
That's right. Say, why don't you all come to school tomorrow? It'll be a nice surprise for the students.
We'll be there, Leota.
Tonight, I'll bring you a book with all kinds of signs in it. You can practice and learn a lot of signs.
Gee, that'll be great, Leota. That night, Leota brought us a wonderful book. It had lots of colorful pictures about signing. Grubby was working hard and learning new signs as fast as he could.
Teddy, look at Grubby. He's making 3 signs at one time. What's he saying?
I'm hungry now. Gee, Grubby, with all those hands, you can sign a whole sentence at once. Tomorrow you'll be the fastest signer of all. What was that, Grubby? Oh, I see what you're saying. Enough talk. Let's eat. We sat down to dinner in our usual way, but we did something different. We closed our mouths and only talked with our hands. The only time we opened our mouths was to eat. The next morning, Grubby was the first one out the door. As we walked, we practiced more sign language, and soon we arrived at Leota's school.
Hello. Students, it seems that we have some visitors. Would you like to introduce yourselves to the class?
Well, Grubby quickly began fingerspelling our names, and then told them our name signs. The students were really surprised.
Wow.
Then, one by one, they started introducing themselves to us in sign language, until finally we met Katie. Gimmick signed,
Very pleased to know you, Katie.
and I signed, it's nice to meet you, Katie. And Grubby signed, I'm glad to meet you, Katie. Then Katie signed to us, it's nice to meet you, too. Wow, you sign very well.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Katie.
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Grubby, Grubby, you got your voice back.
I did. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, Teddy, you're right. I did. But you know, even though I lost my voice, I never stopped talking.
Now, Grubby, remember sign language is just one way to talk without saying a word.
Yeah, you're right, Leota. Why, you can also say, it's nice to meet you by just shaking someone's hand.
Uh-huh. Or when you pat me on the back when I'm feeling bad, Teddy, that always makes me feel better.
Aw, Grubby. You know, a pat on the back a handshake, or even a smile are ways in which we can all talk without saying anything. They're all special signs of a friend. There are some signs that we all understand. I know what it means when you're holding my hand. The way that I smile when I see you again. These are the many signs of a friend.
There is a sign that I use to say hi. It's the same sign that I use for goodbye. I wink my eye when I want to pretend. These are the many signs of a friend. The sign of a friend doesn't have to be heard. You can say friend without saying a word. Lock fingers together, the sum of your friends, and make a circle that never ends.